I heard it all again last night. The shimmer in your eyes, the pictures intertwined, and mirrored into mine.
When I first saw the reveal trailer for Unbeatable, I was instantly drawn to the game. I immediately added it to my Steam wishlist, but after spending just a few hours with it, I've decided to walk away. So, let's talk about why I'm dropping Unbeatable. My name is Kevin from Save the Game Media, and if you're into new game reviews, gaming podcasts, and more, please consider subscribing to the channel. Before we get started, I would like to give a shout out to PlayStack for providing a code for this video. Unbeatable is the debut project from D-Cell Games, an indie studio putting out their very first project. Now, Unbeatable started as a Kickstarter project, so I went into this game with my expectations very much in check. Now, before we get into the positives and negatives, I do just want to touch on what Unbeatable is. It, at its essence, is a rhythm game, but the story focuses on a world where music has been outlawed, and you play as Beat, along with her friends, fighting back against the authoritarian regime to bring music back to the world. But we're going to talk about the story a little bit later, because we have a lot of negatives to cover, but I do want to start with the positives first, because I want to stress this. Unbeatable is a game I really did want to like, and there are aspects of the game that I do enjoy. So let's start with those positives. The art style is visually appealing. It's a very beautiful game while you're playing it, but it becomes exceptionally stunning during cutscenes or action set pieces. The colorful world and characters look their best, unfortunately, when you're not playing the game. The other positive is the soundtrack. The game places a huge emphasis on music, and it delivers. The tracks vary in genre, but each track that I've heard produces an emotional reaction. Somber tones to high-speed chaotic energy tracks, they absolutely knocked it out of the park with the entire soundtrack. Unfortunately, those are where the positives end. So let's go back to the story that I told you we would be returning to. The game opens with a band playing a stadium show, and then Beat wakes up in a seemingly new world where music is now outlawed. She quickly meets a child named Quaver and twins Clef and Treble. My problem is, even just a few hours in, I have no idea what's going on. The story feels completely disjointed. You'll randomly jump from scene to scene, and there's no cohesion in the storytelling. Apart from Beat, the characters range from indifferent to downright annoying. I attribute my dislike for the cast mainly down to two things: the writing and the voice acting. I feel like the best way to describe the writing is edgy. It tries so hard to be cool, but it comes across as cringy. Emotional moments undercut with teenage angst that I just don't vibe with. I could look past that if the voice cast was delivering a good performance, and I do hate critiquing voice actors, but I'm just not believing the words coming out of the character's mouths. It feels like reading words off a page, as opposed to the embodiment of a character, especially, and I mean this nicely, especially Treble. Now, I could maybe look past all of that if the gameplay loop was satisfying, but it just isn't. There is a semi-passable rhythm game in Unbeatable. It's brought down, however, by bad UI, clunky controls, and a poor explanation of gameplay mechanics. In my 3 hours of playtime, the vast majority is spent slowly running around the world, reading a seemingly endless amount of dialogue, and occasionally solving a very unenjoyable, repetitive puzzle. In between reading, you may actually get to do the rhythm game, where you'll hit the left or right bumper at the right time while you engage in combat. I just find that the UI, especially when it's multiple enemies on the screen, to be very clunky, noisy, and distracting. Unlike a game like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, where the notes are always on the track coming at you in one direction, this has you looking up, down, left, right. Sometimes you have to do rhythm elements in mini games like hitting baseballs or blocking shots from guns, but it never seemed to work correctly. The visual cues just don't match what they're asking me to do at the time they're asking me to do it. It becomes a very frustrating experience where it feels random. Mix all of that in with a plethora of technical issues, such as frame rates jumping all over the place for seemingly no issue, voice audio playing over each other if you advance the dialogue by hitting the A button, and soft locking bugs. I just can't recommend Unbeatable in its current state. There is an arcade mode if you want to do the rhythm game section without any of this story, but I'd wait for them to patch the game. Unfortunately, Unbeatable needed more time in the oven. But let me know your thoughts on the game, if you're enjoying it or not. Until next time, I've been Kevin for Save the Game Media. See ya!